Hi, welcome to yoga. My name is Kirsten. Let's go ahead and start seated on the mat. So maybe grab a folded up blanket or towel or cushion to sit on and get comfy, cross-legged pose if that's comfortable for you. And just start to settle in. Let's take a few long inhales and exhales. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Allowing the eyes to close if that feels comfortable. Inhale and exhale. Another long inhale and exhale. Soften the muscles of the face. Notice any places where you're holding tension or gripping. Allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears, lengthening the neck. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. Go and drop your chin to your chest. Good, now roll the left ear over to the left shoulder. Turn the nose, draw the nose up toward the ceiling and over to the right ear to right shoulder, and chin back down to the chest. So nice and slow, drawing a circle with the nose clockwise, so left, up, right, and down. Nice and slow. Really feel into any spots in the neck that are tight and sore and stiff. Give them a little extra attention. Maybe pause anywhere that feels like a good stretch. Good, and reversing the circle, so to the right, and up, left, and down. Your own pace. Again, finding those spots that want to have a little extra stretch, pause. The next time the chin comes down to the chest, just stop there and bring the head back to face forward, allowing the eyes to open if you'd like. Arms out to the side to a T, reaching to either side of the room. And start to do some really small circles with the hands. Making the circles a little bit bigger. Notice if there's any place in the shoulder that catches or doesn't feel comfortable, and just slow it down or bring the circle a little bit smaller. Good, and reverse. And start to make the circles smaller and smaller. And coming back to a T. You're going to drop the fingertips down to face the floor, stretching the top of the wrist. And fingertips up to the ceiling, pressing away. Good, and release the hands to the knees. Good, now if your legs are not crossed, see if you can go ahead and cross them or bring one foot in front of the other. So maybe they're not crossed over each other, but one is kind of in front of the other. Starting with my right foot in front. And start to walk your hands along the floor. We're going to do a forward fold, bowing the nose toward the floor. And walk the hands along the floor, come back up to a seat. Now take that right leg that's in front and straighten that leg, keeping the left leg bent. Reach the right arm down toward the shin, left arm comes around, up and over. Nice side stretch here. Good, come back up. Now turn to face those toes, walk the hands down the leg, and nose drops to the knee. And come back up. And switching legs, so straighten the left leg, bend the right, side stretch. And come back up. Turn to face the toes and nose to knee. And come back up to a seat. And take that left foot and cross it right in front of the right foot and forward fold again. So walking the hands forward along the floor, opposite leg in front. And come back up to a seat. And twist to the right, just gently looking over the right shoulder. And twist to the left. And come back to face front. Now we will move the blanket out of the way if you're using the blanket, or you can keep it there for your knees. So we're going to go into hands and knees, tabletop. And we'll start with a little bit of cat and cow, waking up the spine. So round the back, cat. And arch the back, looking forward, cow. And rounding the back, exhaling on the cat. Arching the back, inhaling, looking forward on the cow. Good, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And follow your own breath, 5 more rounds. Go ahead and come back to tabletop or neutral spine. Now thread the needle. So we'll start with the left hand. So raise the left hand up in the air toward the ceiling. And then take that left hand and thread the needle right underneath the right armpit, coming down to rest on the left shoulder. Now that right hand can reach in front of you for some extra stretch. Or maybe even bring that right hand to the rest on the low back. Good. And press back up to tabletop. And other side, so raise the right arm up toward the ceiling. And then thread the needle underneath the left armpit. Pressing back up with the hand, come back up to the tabletop. Now, maybe walk yourself forward on the mat a little bit. We want plenty of space behind us. So tuck the toes and raise the hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Dropping the heels toward the floor. They might not touch, especially on the first downward dog. That's okay. Good, bend the knees, come back down to tabletop. Bring the knees as wide as the yoga mat, big toes touch, and child pose. Shift the hips back, dropping the forehead to the mat. Good, come back up to tabletop. Tuck the toes, hips up, downward facing dog. Good, knees back down. And child pose, walk the knees nice and wide if you'd like to, or they can stay narrow, whichever is more comfy for you. And come back up to tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog one more time. Now this time bend the right knee only. Really stretching into the left leg. Good, straighten the right knee, bend the left. Good, straighten the leg, downward dog, both heels dropping toward the floor. And drop the knees, and child pose. Good, come back up onto hands and knees. Now this time, turn your left foot out to about 90 degrees. So the left foot comes actually off the mat. And straighten the right leg. Raise the right arm up and overhead. Side gate pose. Good, and switching sides. So come back to a tabletop. Right foot kicks out 90 degrees. Straighten the left leg and gate. Good, back to tabletop. Tuck the toes and downward facing dog. Gonna walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Bend the knees, come into a squat. So come up on the toes, maybe the hands come together at heart center for balance. Good, drop the hands to the mat and straighten the legs, forward fold. And now slowly roll the spine, come all the way up to stand. Tadasana. All right, stepping back with the right foot, we'll come into warrior one. So right foot is about 45 degrees, left knee bends, and arms swoop forward and up, facing the left knee, facing the short edge of the mat, warrior one. Good, opening the arms forward and back, shifting the hips a little bit to match warrior two. Gazes over the left fingertips. Good, leading with the right hand, swoop that arm down, around, and forward, coming into a side angle. Good, continue the circle all the way back and reverse. Peaceful warrior. Good, back to warrior two. Now straighten the front leg and triangle. Excellent, come back up to warrior two. Drop the arms for a minute, straighten both legs. Turn both toes to face the long edge of the mat. Excellent, bring the arms out to a T, star pose. Just pause here for a minute, take up space. Good, and we'll switch over to the other side. So turn the right toes to the short edge of the mat, left toes to about 45 degrees. Drop the arms if you want, give them a break. Bend that right knee towards 90 degrees and face the hips toward the short edge of the mat. Swoop the arms forward and up, warrior one. And open the arms, warrior two. Leading with the back left hand, swoop that arm down, around, and forward, side angle. And back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg and triangle pose. Good, bend the front leg, come back to warrior two. Drop the arms, straighten both legs, turn both toes in, heels out. And wide forward fold. So from here you can bring your hands to your hips if you like and start to hinge at the hips, bending all the way forward. Maybe drop the hands down to the mat. Imagine the crown of the head was reaching toward the floor. Keep breathing. If the floor isn't accessible, maybe bring your hands to your legs, bring a little bit of a bend into the knees to protect those joints. Excellent. Bring the hands to the hips and slowly roll the spine up. Head is the last to come up so we don't get dizzy. Excellent. And heel toe the feet back together. Excellent. Move into a tree balance. So start to bring your weight into your left foot. Kickstand the right. Arms can come up to a V like tree branches. And you can stay here with that kickstand or start to bring that right foot up off the mat, balancing on the left. And bring your foot a little bit higher if you'd like. Find a spot on your leg that's comfortable to rest on, not directly on the knee joint, but anywhere else is fine. And pick a drishti, so an unmoving point of focus. Keep breathing. Slow, steady inhales and slow, steady exhales through the nose. Good, release the arms, release the leg, and switch sides. So kickstand to the left leg. Arms come back up. Maybe choose a different arm position this time. You could try arms to a T or hands together over the head, palms together. And find your balance on the right leg. Keep breathing. If you wobble, just come back into it. Excellent. Let go of the arms, let go of the legs, and come back to center. Good. Now deep bend in the legs. So we'll go into a chair pose. So sitting back, swoop the arms forward and up. Really sitting back as if you're sitting into a chair. Maybe bring all 10 toes up off the floor, pushing the weight a little bit back into the heels. Go ahead and let go of the arms and keep bending the knees. Come down into a squat once again, balancing on the toes. Good, and make your way to sit down on the mat. A forward fold, so we'll walk the hands down the legs, reaching for the shins, the ankles, maybe even the big toes. And inhale, look forward, straightening the back. And exhale, start to bow the nose toward the knees. Go and walk the hands up the legs, come back to a seat. Bend the left leg, bring that left foot to the inside of the right thigh, and single leg forward fold. And come back up. And now take that bent knee, bring the knee up, plant the foot right on the ground next to the straight leg, and we'll twist. So you can twist toward the leg, or if that's uncomfortable, you can twist away from the leg. And come back to face forward, straighten that left leg, walk the hands down the shins, forward fold once again, maybe reaching a little bit further, maybe reaching for the bottoms of the feet this time. And come back up, bending the right leg. Bring that leg in, or bring that foot right on the inside of the left leg, and single leg forward fold on the left. And walk your hands back up and twist. So bring that right knee up. Once again, twist toward the leg, closed twist, or away from the leg, open twist. And on the twist with each inhale, grow the spine a little bit taller, head toward the ceiling. And on each exhale, twist just a little bit deeper. Good, and make your way back to face front. Straighten that right leg. One last forward fold. Walk the hands down the shins. Notice if your hands can move even further this time. Breathing into any areas that are especially tight, breathing into the backs of the legs, the lower back, any part of the back, the arms, the neck. Go ahead and come back up to a seat. Now slowly in your own time, make your way down to lie back on the mat. Good, legs are bent. Leave the left foot planted on the floor. Take the right foot, cross it over, figure 4. You can stay right here and rest, just feeling that hip opening. Or for a deeper stretch, we can lift the left foot up off the ground and maybe thread the arms underneath that left knee, pulling it in toward the body just a little bit. Good, let go of the hands. Take the legs and drop them over to the left. Nice supine twist. Bring the arms to cactus or maybe out to a T. And turn the head to the right. And come bring the legs back up, and switching legs, plant the right foot on the floor, cross the left over, and thread the needle, the other kind of thread the needle, thread the arms behind that right knee, drawing a figure 4 in toward the body. Good, let go with the hands and drop the legs over to the right. Arms to cactus or a T and twist. Go ahead and come back up to center. Uncross the legs. Now hug both knees into the chest. You can rock back and forth maybe, giving the lower back just a little bit of love. If it feels okay on the neck and shoulders, maybe even draw the neck and shoulders up off the mat, nose toward the knees. Nice tight little ball. Good, and slowly release back down to the floor. Let go of the legs, and we'll move into Shavasana. So you can stay with your legs bent, bring the feet as wide as the mat, knock the knees together for constructive rest, or go ahead and straighten the legs along the mat. Settling into the Shavasana, maybe bring both your hands to your belly, and just notice the belly rising and falling with each inhale and exhale. Softening the muscles of the face, letting go of tension, just allowing the breath to move through you. Allowing the belly to be soft and just naturally rise and fall with each breath. Good, and mindfully drop the shoulders, so maybe walk the shoulders away from the ears a little bit. Maybe drop the shoulders toward the floor if they were rounding up and forward. Imagine letting go of tension in the back. Imagine letting go of tension in the hips and the legs and the feet. Imagine letting go of tension in the arms. Allowing everything to take a moment of stillness. The ease that helps the yoga practice settle in, balancing all the work we've done, all the active movements. And taking the time to notice where maybe you're still holding on to tension. Just let it go. And starting to bring attention back into the room, into the space. Slowly starting to deepen, lengthen the inhale, and lengthen the exhale. And moving the fingers and toes a little bit, maybe rolling the wrists and the ankles one way, and then the other way. Reach the arms up overhead if that's comfortable. Big full body stretch. And then start to roll over onto one side or the other. Take your time. And press up to a seat. Excellent. Bring the hands to rest on the knees or palms together at heart center if that's comfortable, if that's what you want to do today. Thank you so very much for joining me for yoga today. Be well, everybody. Namaste.